the Futures Fanatic live stream very late today, but I did make it. I wasn't going to, but then this silliness came out. You know, you saw Tesla down, I don't know, $70 or something at the lows, maybe 65. Give me a 1 in the chat for picture and sound if you come on and it's all working. I'm talking right in the mic, should be okay. We got the closed captions on. We're getting better at this. If my voice holds up, we'll trade for the next half an hour or so. My Kerpos is just long the Dow Jones in, I think, just 2 accounts here. Positions. Yeah, let me take one off yeah, well, it's coming back down. We'll hold it in 2. We'll hold it for this level here.
Order pending.
But that was a pretty wild, thank you, Jay. Thanks, Todd. That was a pretty wild last half an hour or so. But if you actually come over and just hang out in the instrument that we talk about, the Dow, this is one of the best range days in a while. This was a pop on some European rate cut news, I believe. And then boom, right down. Boom, all the way back up into this offer zone. We've had this drawn here the whole session, everybody. All this activity is just fantastic. And there's volume, good volume at all these various levels here. So just really good stuff. If you're first time joining the stream, I know we have a lot of people coming back, but I'm trading on a platform called Tickblaze. Tickblaze is a platform that has been is the premier platform for a new prop firm called PropShop Trader, and I have purchased 5 PropShop Trader accounts, evaluations. They're right here, and the wire-to-wire challenge is, can you buy the first series? You don't have to buy 5, just buy 1. You know, and keep them in sequential order, and then pass them in sequential order. More often than not, when you check in here, I will be green, just because I take it pretty carefully. And the first time I got long here on the Dow was when it actually came down here to a quad test. You know, we've had some wick action today, all kinds of good stuff. Some wick action. It's wicky to walk around. It's wicky.
Order submitted.
Now, all the action is over here in the NASDAQ, but don't be messing around with this thing. Said the guy that, why don't we just buy these lows? See if they get a little retest down here and they sell Tesla off into the 21.5s have actually been kind of a level. NASDAQ right here, let me just make sure I'm on the right chart. Yeah. Perfect bounce from basically S3. So the combination of what you're looking at is Tickblaze, along with PropShop, a new prop firm. I believe the sale ended yesterday. I'll let you know when there's a new sale. And here we go. Let's see if we can get to this. Maybe just up to this swing.
Modified.
Get up to this swing up here. Yeah, you can short the NASDAQ here in the offer zone, in the bid zone, and then see if we can get another super weak close. Certainly possible. I ain't mad at you. Go for it. But back to the task at hand. Dow Jones just getting you done. If you want to know the right instrument to start with, check out the PropShop Right ebook. Download that. It'll tell you that the best thing to start with is either the MES or the MYM. I know my face is covering part of that chart, but I've been told by my video editing guys that in order to cut this down to clips that they can use, they needed a bigger face on the screen. So there you go. Yeah, when you have the richest man and the president firing back and forth, although it sounds like most of this was just typical Elon, but now directed towards the president. So, I know, bigger talking head. All right, this thing is not moving, so I'm just going to ensure that it goes higher by taking it off there. So Kerpos is just long the Dow Jones going into the close here. Well, we have 25 more minutes. Yes, perfect for scanning. All right, so
Order pending.
Going to sell the ask
Order
there,
filled.
and we're all
Position
flat.
Closed.
You can see the
Order filled. Order submitted.
I had a pretty nice day over on all of the multi-propping over on TradeEvate on Ninja. Those accounts, many of them count because they're PA accounts or funded accounts, and I have 3 direct to funding that I was trying. Oh, the code still works? Okay, well, so much. I didn't see an email as to whether they extended it, so I can turn the code on here for a second just to let you guys know. I don't know. No, I deleted it. Don't worry about it. Go, baby. Go, baby. All right, now the responsible thing to do is to put a sell stop here.
Order pending.
And then I'll buy on the pullback to the -1s.
Order pending.
Move this up to the -2s.
Order modified.
Is anyone long in here? It's working out. Check this out up here. Look at the big brain on Rod. That's up nicely. And yes, I'm going to let it come all the way back down and refill me.
Order submitted.
Because there's no way I can get an extended target with only 1 contract on. So this is kind of important when you have these big winners. If you run a sell stop like really close here,
Order
right here, seems to always get hit and then go higher.
Order canceled.
So rather than that, I'm just going to, now I'm already up heaps in this account today, about $1,900. So, and by the way, this is $1,900 just trading micros. See, this is, I don't know. Let me turn on the data series. And not trading minis, not getting crazy. Text and marker. Okay. Buy, sell, buy. Sell, sell. I had some from before. Sell, buy, sell. You guys can read, right? So there you go. That's what's going on over at Ninja. Let's move this this sell stop up a little bit. One in the chat if you're long the Dow in here. You long the Dow in here? I challenge you. Get these PropShop accounts. Start over. Start fresh. Trade small. Trade micros. Trade at high probability areas. Read the Props Done Right ebook. You can do this too. 4 out of 5 days that I stream, there'll be green numbers here. And typically exceed or right around any red numbers. The catalyst that did this to the Dow today doesn't matter. It'll be something different tomorrow. So Trump and Elon mostly just started tweeting crazy shit. He's been tweeting crazy shit for 15 years. So we like catalysts that get things down into a high probability turning area. Let me put on the text here, data series text, order text. First buys were right here, and then I chickened out. So I bought it and closed it. See this right here? Started falling. I was getting the room ready. I was just about to go live, and I'm like, oh, I got to deal with some stuff here. So close that. Bought again right at the level, right? Big white arrow. Buy that one here. Close it here. I must have had another one earlier. Now we're looking to buy on the way back down. It's like child's play. Okay, I really appreciate all the questions. I'm going to have to figure out how to answer the 10 most commonly asked questions, of which how many X micros would you trade in X size account? So I'll eventually record this answer in a way in which I can just reuse it, but why not just answer it again? And I encourage you to follow me now on TikTok or on Instagram if you'd like, or on YouTube. Because on YouTube, what is happening is I got a team now, small team, 2 guys. And with the help of AI, they're carving this stuff into, they're carving it into little shorts. So a lot of the time, the questions are, 60 people watching. Look at that right there. Thank you for all 60 people that are watching. You come over here to shorts, and a lot of the time, the answers to many questions are put in these little shorts here. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some of the shorts. I'm starting to hear my voice fade. Okay. I had a pretty nice day today in TopStep as well.
Order filled.
Just take that off, rebuy the lows. Looks like 52,500. So once again, we're getting close to where I have to fail them all and restart over because they only cost me $5. I think they're all probably around 52.4s. Yeah, 52.5s. Did he just say fail them all on purpose? Yes, that's what I said. I don't need to be funded at another firm. I don't need 5 or 4 or 3 or any TopStep accounts. I just want to keep my TopStep accounts at $5 forever, so I can continue to test the platform that they built that ended up being a really great addition to the community and to the futures world. It's very clean. TopStep X, now called Project X. It's not perfect, but as an easy web-based way in which you can enter trades, it's pretty nice. All right, what was I talking about? I don't remember. Oh, get on my YouTube channel so that you can...
Order filled.
So that you can get answers to these questions. The most question I'm going to answer right now is how many X contracts do you trade in Y size account, doing it your way? All right. On a 20-second delay, does anyone want to know the first thing I'm going to say? Not, it depends. No, you don't size per drawdown. It's going to be the word DRB. I was going to pass them, but then I got sideways with them again. So DRB. That's it. So you start everything with your DRB. So you start with your DRB, and then you can back into the amount of contracts, and you can back into the size of your overall drawdown. Now, if you don't know what your DRB is, don't have it exceed 10% of your account value. So if the question is around, let's just pick a number, a $50,000 account with a $3,000 drawdown, then you can have a $300 DRB when you're first starting out. Come into my trade room, check it out, practice a little bit. You'll learn whether you can handle 300 DRB or if that's too close. If you're flying close to the sun too much, you can't handle trading the MNQ with a $300 DRB, not when you're first starting out. So you start with your DRB, then you overlay the instrument that you're trading. Let's say it's the MES, okay? So we're trading the MES, right? And, oops. I'm eventually going to have this market analyzer built for Tickblaze. The MES currently has a 78-point range. You multiply that times the point value, which is $5 a point. Someone want to do the math for me, and it's about $400, right? $400 of opportunity. So if you didn't know anything and you always bought the highs and sold the lows, in other words, the wrong side every single time, you'd only be about $100 off trading one contract. Anyway, I'll simplify this for you. Trade 1 to 3 MYM and 1 or 2 MES when you're first starting out in any risk budget less than $500. Learn a strategy with high probability areas, and you should be okay regardless of the account size. But everything depends on your DRB is the answer. Another way to think of it is if your DRB is $300 and you want to set a logical stop loss for yourself on each individual trade, and you're trading the Dow Jones, as soon as you see the open profit or the open loss for that trade exceed $100 or a third of your daily risk budget, just close the trade. If you traded 4 contracts, what's $100? 25 points, right? If you traded 2 contracts, what's $100? 100 points, right? You picking up what I'm putting down? So it also is giving you stop management. Now look, this is not easy to implement in practice because what you're always going to want to do is just sort of use some sort of linear spreadsheet and go, well, my account grew to this, so I can trade this many contracts because someone showed you some sort of compounding nonsense that doesn't work for active day trading at all. And you believed it, and it worked for a little while, and then it just totally screwed you. Start every day fresh. Start every day with the same DRB. The only time you can increase your DRB is when you achieve certain milestones, and it's not growing your account. This is important to point out. We are playing a completely different new game here. Completely different. Almost none of this applies to anything except multi-prop trading across a variety of different accounts. So I want to make that clear. Nothing that I'm saying here applies to the real world, with the exception of if your real world account is around the same size. So this is a real world tracking account that I made a goal for myself to get it back, run it up back to 10,000 so I can take a $2,500 withdrawal this month. So I traded it today actively for the first time, and lo and behold, we made $629. And if you can see over here, this is MNQ and MES, right? Not the MYM today. I can take some liberties. But everything I'm saying applies here too. I can trade this reasonably with a 10% drawdown, $800 daily drawdown. I rarely get to that. I usually cut it at about half of that. All right, there's the market on close orders. I only start gabbing because there's really no trading going on here. We'll see if I'm going to be a little more conservative and move this down to into the bid zone. Move this up to here.
Order modified.
Looks like we could get a weak close.
Order canceled.
I think I have some orders resting here in the NASDAQ, so I got to be careful. I put it at 500. All right, let's watch the NASDAQ. I'm actually in a position up here, so we'll watch this. Move this over. Standard stuff. With this price dislocation that happened because of the events of the day, this is really a crapshoot. So it's awesome, but it doesn't make -2s any different. How do you know when to buy a swing low? How do you know when to do anything? Just learn the strategy and put the order on the line. Right here. Put the order on the line. This is a $250,000 PA. So basically a $7,500 account. I can afford to trade 5 micros in here if I end up getting filled on the pullback there. Yeah, I know I sound like shit. I'm sorry. Okay, since I'm going to be focused on this, I'm going to come back over to Tickblaze and just cancel all orders, and we'll call it a day over on Tickblaze.
Order canceled.
Those keeping following along with the account challenge, here you go. Basically $100 in every account. Very happy with that. It's fine. And let's go back to the NASDAQ here.
Order canceled.
We cancel that order at the -2s and instead pick this area from back here where we kind of, there was some profit taking, then we went higher. NASDAQ's been so overbought for a while, it's got to have an excuse to push lower at some point. Yeah, you guys got the right answer to the other question. Everything depends on your DRB. My DRB in the 250,000 apexes is $1,080. That's more than 10% of the available drawdown, but it is more than 10% of the available drawdown because that's the average of my 5 largest days while passing the account. A lot of people with hopium are going to get flushed out here. They're buying the lows and they're going to push them out. I'll scoop them up. Or it could hold -2s. We'll see. I have no idea. It's all random, but
Order canceled.
seems like when you're streaming, a lot of people like people to just blab on endlessly about what they think the market's going to do or what they're seeing. Did anyone take the -2s here? I canceled that order because, again, it's a really nice day in this account. I don't need to. If you've passed 5 prop accounts, got to an evaluation stage, got 3 of those above their payout thresholds, and taken 3 payouts from each account, then you can trade the NASDAQ. This is hard for a lot of people to hear because 95% of people who are going to listen to this clip or watch any of my streams or anything else haven't achieved that milestone and still are going to be trading the MNQ, convincing themselves, oh, it's an easier instrument, or the other thing bores me, or whatever. So if you are amongst this group of people, then have at it. Do whatever you want. If you're Arthur, who's taken $5,000 every couple days out of these Bullinox accounts, do whatever you want. If you're Mark, took $5,000, $1,000, there's $6,000. Janelle crushing it, $5,500. But if you're not in that category, then don't have a trade on like this. You are relegated to the Dow Jones or the MES. Because why do you not want to have success? Why? So we'll watch all these people get flushed right here at the close. I'm going to cancel this. I want to make sure I don't have any working orders. Another great thing about Project X is, you know, how they cancel all your working orders and close your positions for you. All that stuff is so great. All right, one more minute. That's about all I can take. I can't talk anymore. I'm hoping this thing rips lower so we can get those fills, and then you can just follow along at home in how I manage this trade or what happens. This is kind of a low volume node. It should be like right here.
Order submitted.
All right, you hit
Order
that.
filled.
Now I can buy this.
Order submitted.
Move this up to here. This is not part of the wire-to-wire challenge. Go, Nazi. All right. Let me see if there's any questions. It's not a matter of would I. Sure. I mean, you can place an order there. It already moved, right? Look at that. Anyone get long from the -2s? I don't know. It's too easy. It's almost like this stuff works. All right, everybody. Stay green. Trade like you mean it. We'll see you at the next one. Be good.